Hey, what's up? We are Howard Nozum and we live in Brooklyn, New York. The reason why we came to New York was because of graffiti. You know, it's kind of the birthplace of graffiti. We wanted to use our style and bring something to the table that represents us, New York, and DKNY can be happy with. If you look at our artwork, in the background you see this iconic face that keeps popping up in our paintings. We multiplied that face so they can represent all the faces of New York City, and everybody's so multifaceted, it just works well.
My name is Amy Gartrell and I live in New York City. I've always really been interested in color and the emotions and kind of feelings that I think color can draw out, changing perception and reality. You know, I'm interested in what art can do and how it can create moments that are really just between the art and the person experiencing it. When I think of New York, it's excitement, stimulating, layered, and complex. It's such a vertical landscape, so different from where I grew up. People everywhere, and having to negotiate that negotiation is kind of visualized in the piece in a nice way.
僕の名前は山口総一です、千葉県の千葉市というところで生まれました。すごい自分のニューヨークのイメージっていうのはやっぱすごく直線的な、なんですか、幾何学とかなんかすごいすごい直線的なイメージがすごく強かったので、そういうものをうまく自分の作品の中に取り込めて表現したいなと思って。それがすごく自分では新鮮だったので、これからの作品にもうちょっと直線的なイメージを、入れていくっていう意味ですごくとても大きなきっかけになったと思っています。
안녕하세요. 저는 스트릿 아티스트 정크하스라고 하고요. 서울에서 살고 있는 아티스트입니다. The expression in my work have been greatly influenced by urban factors. In my creation process, I tended to do frequently. Then sometimes I transfer my drawing on the street and based on the use them. Or suit to be on the canvas. I think the opinion saying that Seoul and New York is similar is because of the cold urban element and the people.
My name's Calvin Ho and I live in Hong Kong. I started off as a graphic designer and I had some opportunity to create some projects where it crossed over to illustration work. I think when I created the work I was thinking more of the architecture there, the skyline of the buildings and seeing the reflections of each of the buildings. And it kind of reminded me of the diversity of the people, like the colors that I used.
我叫 Neocha， 在跟 DKNY 的这个合作里面，我的作品其实在讲的就是一个城市的一天。它其实也不光是一个时间的概念，它里面还包括了从建筑到人，从喧嚣到平静的这样整个的一个故事结构。我觉得我对于创作的这个事情是，我希望我能通过最简单，然后最美好的方式去描绘我自己对世界的看法。
My name is Hasan Nassernia and I live in Dubai. New York City is a metropolis with so many modern aspects I stumbled upon the famous line, I love NY. I translated it into Arabic. So I wrote it with my style of calligraphy. I take inspiration from the past calligraphy pieces and the old calligraphers of my country. In the DKNY project, the second phase of it was digitally. So I scanned it, I took a picture of the sketch and I took it to the computer and I added my layers of color. This is an artwork which represents the modern world we live in.
Hi, my name is Christophe Ahmed Pierson and I live in Paris. For me, this city is very graphic, so I was trying to transcribe this into the design I was working on. It's something exciting and appealing visually, which is, I think, what New York City is about. Usually everything starts inside those little sketchbook, and usually this is a very starting point of any project or anything I'm working on. It's always nice to have some visibility in the public space and then to help brighten up the grey street of Paris.
My name is Maurizio Galimberti and I live in Milan. Il mio lavoro, il mio progetto nasce anche dalla voglia di contaminarmi con la città, con tutte le sensazioni che la città mi dà. La città per me è un essere vivente nella quale io cerco piccole scene di cinema. Per me Donna Karan rappresenta la contemporaneità newyorkese, nell'essenza. Fantastico, bellissimo.
My artist name is Roy and I live in London. I think really, my first memory of DKNY was actually seeing the mural on Houston in Soho. I think it's one of those strange things because it's not, a New York landmark. It's a piece of advertising, but for a lot of people in other countries, I think it was actually, one of the major landmarks that you would go and see, and it was almost like a gateway into New York. My inspiration behind the design for the piece I created for DKNY was really based on my first visit to the city. And I kind of really wanted to show a little bit of what I remembered feeling like the first time I was there. My idea was to build a quite chaotic piece built up of typography and graphic elements I used in the work to represent the sort of rush and the energy and almost surge of information that I was taking in at the time.